Right, this is the last of the videos on Excel fractals, and to do this we're going to create, using exactly the same principle as previously, we're just going to create a more complex fractal using an if statement inside another if statement. Now before we start, can you make sure that you set your workbook up so all of the columns are the same width, they're all squares, and also you've put in conditional formatting, so if it's a 0 it goes one colour, and if it goes a 1 it's another. And if you can't remember how to do that, then just look at the first video. Right, now we've done that, we're going to go into cell B2 again, and we're going to start here. And the formula that we're going to put in here, again, works on the 3 cells above it. And if these 3 cells, if they add up to a 1, so like this for instance, then the value we want to put in here is a 1. But if these 3 cells add up to a 2, then the value that goes in here is going to be a 0. But there's also a third choice now, that if these 3 cells add up to a 1, this value is going to be a 1. So, adding up to 1 gives us 1, adding up to 2 gives us 0, adding up to 3 gives us 1. So, in order to do this, if we click on the FX, and you should see if straight away, if not you'll have to search for it, and press OK. And our logical test is, if that plus that plus that is equal to 1, then our value, if true, so if it does equal 1, is going to be a 1. But if this is false, if it doesn't add up to 1, we need to do another test now. So we're going to have to type this if statement in by hand. So, if, and then a bracket, an opening bracket, which is Shift and 9 on the keyboard, that plus that plus that equals 2, then we want to say 0. We do that by putting in a comma and saying 0, writing 0, and then another comma, and this is what happens if A1 plus B1 plus C1 doesn't equal 2. We want to see a 1, because the only other options there are it's going to be a 0 or a 1. 3 rather. And when you've written that, you close the bracket, which is Shift and 0, and press OK. And if we replicate our formula by going to the bottom right cell, move it across, now if you move it down, then we start to get a slightly more interesting fractal. So if I choose that one again, I'm going to zoom out quite a bit and replicate across, and then replicate down. Then you can see that we begin to get this fractal triangle, which I think is called a Sierpinski triangle. And if you go to the row at the top, the one which doesn't have a formula in it, you can put in the value 1. If you put in another 1, this then affects the way that our fractal is drawn. So it's quite a lot to do here. There's also, because it involves writing formulas directly, quite a lot that you can get wrong just by maybe missing a comma or using the wrong bracket. So be really careful that this is exactly what your function says, and then have a play around with it. Once you've done this, the next step is to create your own fractal using if statements, and you can embed if statements and just experiment and see what happens.